Hello, and welcome to the Awakening Heart community of mindful living, mindful moments Wednesday night guided meditation live stream. So, this was the first live stream that we had here at the Dallas Meditation Center. How things have changed since then. In any case, I'm so glad that y'all are here. And I hope you can join me for about a 10 to 15 minute guided meditation and short reading that I picked for y'all tonight. If you're not super familiar with mindfulness, the good news is that it's something that you already practice in one way or another. And at the Dallas Meditation Center, we're very much about mindfulness is for everyone. And all mindfulness really is where are you focusing your attention? At any given time, we might be focusing our attention on the words that we're saying, being mindful of our speech. We might be focusing our attention on our steps when we're walking on a rocky surface. So we're being mindful of where we're stepping. And at the heart of this practice really is mindfulness of breath. There's really nothing special about the breath. But the reason why we practice mindfulness of breath in a focused way like this is because at any point in time when we find ourselves lost in troubling thoughts or feelings, we can redirect our attention back to the sensation of the breath. And that way we don't get lost in spinning thoughts about the past or worries about the future. So for this short period of time, we're going to practice bringing our attention back to the sensation of breathing. The mind may wander. That's okay. That's what the mind does. And we just bring it back to the breath sensation. And by doing this, we kind of flex the muscle of the redirection of attention. So throughout the rest of our day, even if we're not sitting on a mat, we know that we can redirect our attention in a similar way. If we find ourselves worrying about something, if we find ourselves beating up about something we did yesterday that we can't change, we always have the breath to come back to. We're always breathing for as long as we're alive. So that's why we practice mindfulness of breath most often here, but there are certainly different kinds of meditation and different focuses of mindfulness. If you're interested, I would definitely recommend checking out the Dallas Meditation Center's classes, as we have different focuses on discussion, on walking meditation, on lying down meditation, or deep relaxation. And they're always free to enter. It's always free to enter, to come and sit and learn how to meditate. And we usually start off this practice, at least in the in-person room, by checking in with everybody. In the online sphere, I would love for y'all to share your name in the comment box and something that you are inviting more of into your life, whether that is equanimity, self-discipline, forgiveness. So I'll start by saying, I'm Myles, and I'm welcoming resilience into my life. If you have something you'd like to share, feel free to post it in the chat box. But since we do have a little bit of a limited time before we get started with other things at 7:30, I'll go ahead and start us off with our opening affirmation. And then y'all can join me for the mindfulness meditation afterwards. There's not too much you can do wrong. All you have to do, or all I invite you to do, is listen to the sound of my voice and try to do your best. Oh, wonderful. We have some folks making some invitations in the chat box. I love it. Let that be an intention for you in our practice. So if you know the opening affirmation, feel free to join in with me. If you don't, you can listen this time, and that way you'll know it for next time. This is our intention to start our meditation practice. May we and all beings be safe and free from illness or injury. May we and all beings transform our suffering. May we and all beings rejoice in all joys. May we and all beings be at peace. And when we do things like bowing, like setting an intention, it's a sign of respect to each other, entirely voluntary if you choose to join. But carrying that intention in your mind, go ahead and allow yourself to settle into a position that is comfortable to you. If you are feeling a little bit sleepy or trying to energize yourself for a spectacular meeting to follow, you might sit in an upright posture, one that embodies wakefulness. But if you're feeling especially fatigued, perhaps in need of restoration, you can certainly lie down. This is not a practice of self-denial or asceticism. This is a practice of getting to know ourselves with a curious attitude so that we can truly honor the needs of our body-mind, and so that we can transform our own suffering, that we may be instead a positive force in the world. Allowing your body to come to stillness. And gently shift your attention to the felt sensation of the breath with a curious attitude. getting really interested in the idea of, well, what is it like to breathe? And when you consider this question, you might suddenly notice how complicated all the breathing machinery can be. There's air entering and exiting the nostrils, slightly warmer air flooding through the back of the throat. A very bellows like expansion and contraction, or more accurately, relaxation of the rib cage. A gentle loosening of the abdomen with each inhale. And if it's difficult to keep track of all this at the same time, you might pick one of those places to focus your attention. Nostrils, throat, chest, or abdomen. Seeing if you can let your attention rest in the ebb and flow. Breathing in and breathing out. This happens all by itself with no outside input from you. And at any point, you may notice that the mind has wandered to some sound in the environment, an itch on your leg, or a persistent thought that seems to be knocking at the back door of the mind. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is what the mind does for us to make us aware of our environment in daily life. But during this focused practice, can we release our attention from the sound, from the physical sensation, and shift that attention back to the ever present breath cycle? As many times as it takes. For however long it takes for us to shift. And if it suits you, See if you can cultivate a sort of playful attitude. Thinking of the mind as an untrained puppy. We're practicing keeping it with us, tethering ourselves to the present moment. But every time there the mind goes, we know we can coax it back. And there goes the mind. We can coax it back. There's no need for judgment. No need for self-castigation. And we'll practice for the last couple minutes in relative silence. And finish with the sound of the bell. And see if you can find the pleasure in the simple act of breathing. Like a good stretch in the morning, we stretch the rib cage, relaxing a little more with each out breath. And with the sound of the bell, allow yourself to reorient to the room around you. Drawing in a deep, full breath. Knowing you can carry this level of mindfulness with you throughout the rest of your day, so that you may be mindful of your thoughts, mindful of your words, and mindful of what's in your heart. I would love to hear any reflections that you might have about your meditation in the chat box. And I'm going to leave y'all with a reading. This reading is from Anger by Thich Nhat Hanh, Wisdom for Cooling the Flames. But it's really good for any kind of aversive emotion, I think. Thich Nhat Hanh says, when the energy of anger, jealousy, or despair manifests in us, we should know how to handle it. Otherwise, we will be overwhelmed and will suffer tremendously. Mindful breathing is the first practice that can help us take care of our emotions. We have to learn first how to take good care of our body. By becoming aware of breathing in and out, we become aware of our body. In breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I calm my whole body. Embrace your body with the energy of mindfulness generated by the practice of mindful breathing. In daily life, we may be very busy taking care of many things. We forget how important our body is to us. Our body may be suffering, our body may be sick, and we need to learn how to go back to our body in order to embrace it tenderly with mindfulness. So that's the reading I picked for y'all today. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's see, in the comment box, Greg is letting go of things he can't control. James is welcoming more calm. Sean is inviting more love into his life. Sean says, I mentally drink sour lemon. I appreciate y'all's contributions and I appreciate y'all joining in. As y'all might already be aware, the Dallas Meditation Center is entirely supported by donations from within the community. You can help keep us alive by donating online for a one-time donation or monthly recurring donation. You can also donate by phone All right, I just posted the link to donate in the chat box. You can also donate by phone by texting the word mindful to 44321. It's greatly appreciated. It's really the only way we stay alive. I don't get paid to facilitate, but we still do have to pay rent even when nobody's coming to the building. And if you do donate, comment below on the video that you donated. I'll give you a shout out tomorrow. This is my second live stream of the day, my fifth live stream for the week. So I'll definitely give y'all a shout out tomorrow. And I hope to see y'all back tomorrow at noon. We'll be doing the same thing, short meditation and reading. Check out the Dallas Meditation Center's social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, posted in the description of the video below to keep up, because we're keeping the programming on. It just looks a little bit different than it used to, right, with all the live streaming. All right, before we switch gears, I invite you to share the closing affirmation with me. And I hope to see you back tomorrow at noon. If you know it, join in at home. If you don't, you'll know it for tomorrow. Countless beings we vow to free. Ceaseless afflictions we vow to end. Limitless truth doors we vow to open. The deepest paths of awakening we vow to realize. Amitabha, thanks so much for joining, y'all. See you tomorrow at noon.